Welcome back, everyone, to another fun-filled, exciting adventure with Altadena Talks. It is season 8, episode 385. We're only 15 episodes away from 400, and today is the Toni Talks segment.
That's bananas that we're almost at 400 episodes in a year and a half.
I know when I tell people that, they can't believe it. I say just go to Altadena, go to the YouTube channel.
Yeah. Cannot touch it, man. Hello and welcome back to me. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, really, no, you ain't been here. People didn't even think you was on the show. They just called me up. Hey man, is Toni still on the show? I haven't seen her. I'm like, yeah, you ever heard of 60 Minutes when Ed Norton used to take a break because he really wasn't taking a break. He was out in the field gathering information to bring back to you. Because if you weren't going to come on today, I was going to call you up. The first thing I was going to ask you was, how many yards?
Exactly. Yeah, no, we finished 3 on Sunday, and they had about 6, I think, Indolon workers there, which was great. But my son was like, yeah, we can't keep doing Sundays. So it's funny because they're literally emailing me right now saying, hey, Toni, somebody has something for Sunday the 18th. And I told them I don't do Sundays. That's my day for church and to relax and all of that. So they're going to have to figure it out.
You mean Sunday the 19th?
No, somebody wants the 18th, which is Saturday. But yes, I think they also have Sunday the 19th. So I've got to try to get them to do some other stuff because we got to figure this out. My son just said he ain't going to keep doing Sundays. Because if we're doing Monday through Saturday, then you want us to do a Sunday also? That's foolish. And It's starting to get hot. So we're going to either have to be there from 7 to 11, or we're going to have to shift and do some evening work or something. So right now I'm kind of all over the place figuring out what's the next iteration. But I do need to look at that dashboard and try to see what we have. But I do know that it probably says 77, which isn't accurate. We're probably at 86 because there's some in my brain that I haven't added yet. So I just got to add that. But yeah, we are getting this stuff done, you guys, trying to get it done. Some man called me last night with an accent. I couldn't tell if he was Latino or Caribbean or who knows what, because they're very similar. But he was like, hi. I said, hello. He was like, literally, he didn't ask for my name or anything. Yeah, I'm calling because I need my lot cleaned up. And then I said, well, then you need to be going to altadenatalks.org. And then I said, not calling this phone number. And he was like, oh, well, someone gave me your number. I said, that's fine, but that's not how you request the lot service. I'm telling you, this is what you need to do. So,
look, don't be calling Altadena Talks talking smack.
And it was 8:30 at night. It wasn't middle of the day. Let me see when he called. Let me look at the time. Because I was like, hello?
As we will put you on blast.
It was 8:28 last night. And I was like...
Yeah, that's late for a Sunday.
A Monday.
No, wait, yesterday was Monday.
But to be calling somebody you don't know talking about, yeah, I need my lot cleaned. I was like, sir.
It reminds me of the Eddie Murphy movie Trading Places when he got out of jail and the 2 big dudes came over. Yeah, you was the one I was going to call talking about bragging on your limousine.
I was like, what the? and so people are really funny because they want what they want when they want it, right? And I was like, okay.
Oh, wait till you see this comment.
Yeah, so it is what it is. I wasn't trying to be nasty to him, but then he tried to talk.
It's just the request line.
Man. Then he was trying to talk a little bit more about, blah, blah, blah. I said, look, altadenatalks.org. What is it? He was writing it down. I said, Altadena, our town. Then he said, so are you an Altadena person or just somebody that's doing, I said,
Wrong Wrong person to ask that.
Because I'm going to go all the way back till I'm out to preschool in 1968.
Oh, you said, look, I'm keeping you on the phone for 37 minutes.
1968, 69, when I started little mouth preschool. So I told him, I said, since 1968, and my family lost 2 houses. Oh, okay. Yeah, I lost 3. And I said, okay.
Are you starting 3 up?
He said, I lost 3. And I was like, okay. So it's just funny because people don't mean anything by it. And I get that. But
after you've been working on 87 yards, you ain't trying to get somebody to call you up asking like that.
Then this other lady sent an email saying, hi, we really need some help. We're on the East Coast. And like, where you sign up, but the comment section, she wrote a whole paragraph in the comment section. I was like...
Bless their little hearts.
Exactly. So it's funny, I do it, but yeah, I'm just like, okay, we'll get this together and go back out. But I did tell him, I said, look, I took a little break last week. I said they just did like 6 of them 3 of them yesterday. They had 6 on the list. This block captain, but they realized, and my son told them, this doesn't take an hour per lot. Because when we get on a lot, we don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know how dense it is.
Yeah, you got to walk it. Yeah.
How deep it is, how wide it is. And when I went up there, did I go in between? Yeah, I went right before I went to church. I got up there like 8:05 or something. And church starts at 8:30. So I was like, let me run up here and at least say hi to the people I've been talking to that don't really know me. My son was already there, all that. But... I was asking Gerald something, and the guy Rich says, I know that voice. You must be Toni. And I was like, yep, because he's been talking to me, right? So I was like, yeah. So we wound up talking, and he said, he was like, oh, so good to meet you. And then I came back. Did I go back? I went back in between. No, I did not go back in between. I waited, and my son told me, and then Rich told me, like some takeaways, right? And Rich was like, well, maybe you should get a cooler that is something battery operated or something, he said, or solar operated. And I want to tell people every time they say, maybe you should get this, you need to get this equipment and this, I want to say, you give me the money for it?
Yeah, because maybe getting has already been spent.
Because I literally just tallied up all the receipts. And as of right now, I'm not even finished. I'm at $7,900 that I've put out of my pocket, separate from our Altadena Talks bank account that I've probably spent another $4,000. Plus, we've had donations of about $3,500 or more that we've spent. So...
yeah, it's probably been about $5,100.
Okay, that we spent.
Yeah.
And
but people are, trickling in, and I'm glad to see the hundreds here and the 200s here.
Exactly.
Sometimes the 8,000 here, sometimes the 5,000 there. I had one man. I'm not gonna mention his name because he probably doesn't even want people to know, but he was like, did you get my donation? And I said, yes, sir. And I sent him the screenshot of the platform. And then I said, it might be in your spam. Yeah. So it might be in your spam. He goes, you know what, sir, it is. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Which is awesome because literally people are like, so there was a lady, when he said the 8,000, there was a lady called me or emailed me and she was like, Toni, can you take ours off the list? We have some friends that are in need, so we're going to pay them to do it or something. And I was like, are you sure? She said, yes, but I want to know how you guys are funded. And I told her, I was like, we've had donations of like this 3,500. I broke it down, like 1,000 from this business, 2,500 from this nonprofit. I just started telling her, I said, and out of my own pocket, I've spent about $8,000. And she was like, well, then I'm going to match your 8,000 so you get it back, and sent us a check like a week and a half ago for 8,000. So I had lost all the receipts, and I just called Brian before the show and said, hey, found the receipts. I'm tallying them up because I'm going to send them to him today so he can run me my money. So
I got to fill out my expense report.
Exactly, because we do nothing willy-nilly. Like, I've
no.
a minute, But I would not say to Altadena Talks, give me my money back because we got the donation to cover it without all the receipts. And I literally put all my receipts in a brown bag, this little brown bag right here, from Pen to Inn one day. And I had lost them all. And I was
when y'all went that day? After
when we went for my parents' thing, yeah.
The groundbreaking, yeah.
Yeah, because that's their favorite place. So we always go, like mom's birthday, dad's birthday, anniversary, whatever.
I actually love the remodel. Really
yeah,
nice.
we do too. So all of these receipts inside are not even the ones I spent money. Those are the ones I spent money, but those are off of our Altadena Talks Foundation account, our B of A account. So I was like, I got to separate them because we know and we can pull up that and see what was spent. But these are all the ones just from me. Then I had to go on like my Home Depot card and pull those receipts off because I was missing those. I had to go on my USAA bank account and my Navy Federal bank account. And then I've got to go on my Amex and a couple different credit cards that I know I've bought.
And I need you to give me all your hours you spent.
Oh, the hours I've been doing? Yeah, because I go shopping too. So yeah, I probably have 300 hours myself. But all this stuff, you guys, we be trying to figure it out so that our stuff is right. Because we did just put in for a CAL FIRE grant and we can do that once a quarter. We should know later this month. And we're asking, they give out up to $100,000 for different nonprofits. We're asking for the full 100 because we need to buy a vehicle. Right now, I rent a trailer off of our foundation account credit card. But even before that, I rented a van and stuff off of my own. Oh, I forgot about that. With U-Haul, Lord have mercy. Either way, I did. I got to go back and see like what I paid you.
That's what I'm saying. You need one of them like accordion things for each day.
Yeah. I need to just sit my butt in front of this laptop every day and put the expenses in on an expense thing. Then I'll know. But I get so busy.
Then you can just staple the. Well, you already got a sheet for the yards.
I do.
A sheet for the volunteers.
Everything.
A sheet for the donations. You know, and then we're already like, you won't believe this, but we now have a 275-page Altadena Talks Foundation operations manual that tells you everything about what we're doing, our tech stack, our initiatives, the 5 websites we have, all this other stuff.
Because you had nothing else to do. So you said...
No, I have everything to do, but my whole goal here, here's the problem, and I'm trying to teach people this in compliance. Every time you look at a grant, they always ask you for something you don't have.
Yep. So you're getting it all together off of each one.
I'm getting it all together off of each one, exactly. Yep. So that, and then after this, it's going to be broken down into compliance, governance, and technical. And there's going to be a setup where it's really based on the executive director's position, not what I do. This is basically what the executive director should do. And he's supposed to be involved with everything, but delegate to people. The problem with us is that we are the delegators, but we don't trust anybody to do the thing, so we do it ourselves.
Well, and we do delegate, but we delegate to ourselves. Like I'm the director of community engagement.
And you out there.
Engagement. Look, Tuesday night, and I should have done it with this credit card, but I didn't. I did it on my business. But on Tuesday night, I decided to buy a ticket to fly up north in support of SB 1090 in lobby, right? Mm-hmm. So it's all that kind of stuff that we're constantly involved in. And me saying, because you didn't have anything to do, obviously was sarcastic because I know.
And I agreed with you because you know that I know.
Exactly. So the fact is, like,
I'm going to show you something that's going to really make you laugh.
We got so much going on. You gone? Oh.
Let me see if I can find it.
Hold on 1 second, Brian. Go take my keys right there. Open the door in my car.
Where are we? Okay. So Let me just show you this. So I use AI so much to the point where I have it tell me how much time I've spent on it. And when you see this graphic, you're going to laugh.
No, I believe it. Because you be on nonsense.
So this is what it told me that I spent time on. 1,285 hours, which is equivalent to 32 weeks of full-time, 40 hours a week work. Majority of it is all of this stuff.
7th.
Formation, compliance, grant research, yes. Okay. Website development, financial management, governance and policies, program development, technology and AI infrastructure, strategy planning growth. I do all of this every day. All day. So I had to keep track of me now. Now I have agents that read my email, that tell me what's coming up, what's going on. I don't even have to look at it anymore. I just say status and it pops it up. So now it's like I can now focus on the actual work that I need to do. Like I had 4 people call me yesterday for the wellness event on July 18th. Was it Penny Lane called? They're going to come down and do giveaways. They help people, support people in need. What's the other one? And they was calling me back to back. Another one's through the City of Hope from a doctor who recommended this one. I forgot what the name of their thing was called. I hate that. Project Happy Face is what it is.
Okay.
And Project Happy Face is basically they're going to come and give. It's a mobile thing that comes and does skincare and cancer screenings.
Nice.
So and then your lady called Heidi. I sent her the link so she could register.
And she did.
And she actually just sent an email this morning.
Yeah, she gave us $100 donation because she was like, even though she's a nonprofit, she still wanted to give us something, and she registered for both use, which was cool.
So yeah, so we're gonna have some nice. I want to talk to them about possibly talking in the wellness panels about what they do and partnering with Tamitra. So
she told me Sunday at church she was gonna call me this week too. So might be about that. I don't know. But
yeah, Jamal had already. I kind of delegated one thing, and I had Jamal set up the mental wellness panel because I just didn't have time.
Good.
So yeah, but things are coming along. I can't complain. We're both on deep in our initiatives.
Deep.
Trying to keep it deep. I mean, look, this is the only time we actually even speak to each other.
I know. Sometimes we'll call, like this morning, I called him on the way to do something in the car, and I was like, all right, I'm there. I'll talk to you after the show. Because we're just really busy with stuff, which is good, right? Because again,
that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's about the community. We're doing what we got to do. So, but, yeah, I everything is accounted for while the mom profits are drowning and screening for help. Yeah. We don't play around. They're not paying attention.
They're not paying attention, man. And here's the funny thing, and I'm not going to mention who they are because it's private, but 3 nonprofits have reached out to me to set up their compliance so that they can be compliant. And it's doing it's coming right along. I mean, Alfred's getting ready to launch his nonprofit. We just finished it. It took about 7 months.
Good.
So he'll be doing his with his art programs. He was really excited. He actually talked faster.
Don't say that when I'm drinking my protein.
I did it on purpose.
Right. Because he talked like... he can be the voice of a sloth.
You have to be patient with Alfred.
He can be the voice of a sloth.
Anton said, like thank you for that Sacramento trip.
Hey, Anton, absolutely. We got to do everything.
She had to get up there and scream on him. Now look at here.
No, I told you I was literally talking. You only get this long to say your name, who you're with, if you're with the organization, and whether you support or not, right? In support. And I started saying it and start bawling when I got to the point where I said in support, please don't make our community suffer more than it already has, or something to that effect. And I was crying. Like, I could not hold it back, because everybody knows right now the emotions are roller coasters, right? They come, they go in waves, whatever. And I start crying. The second time I said the same thing, but I held it together much better, different committee. But it's just that important that everybody here, you want to sign that? You're popping. I don't even have a pen on me right now. Probably one in that drawer over there where the scissors are. But yeah, so it's super important that we go and we support and we do everything that we can. And everything that we do here every day has been in support of our community from the very beginning until we're all back home. I think I'm going to start having some of our builders. I'm going to reach out to some of the builders, I will say, not our builders, the builders that were at our town hall March of last year, or who were on the show, or sponsored our event, or who were on the show. Come on and give a update as to what they're doing, if they've had anyone move back home with their certificates of occupancy. Yeah,
one of the ones I'd like to give you is ATP Homes. They bought a 5 event sponsorship, a vendor package, and they've been there in support ever since. And he's also building 3 or 4 homes up in Altadena. I've actually stumbled upon a few of them as I'm driving by. I go, oh, that's the guy that. So yeah, he'd be a good candidate.
All right, cool. Okay, that's fine. I would love to bring on Habitat for Humanity. And y'all, let me tell you why I would love to bring them on. Because Habitat for Humanity, and I will not reveal my sources, as no good journalist will do, but Habitat for Humanity has the Pasadena chapter, or I'm sorry, San Gabriel Valley chapter. And this is probably going to be some shocking news, breaking news to people. But they did the Woods home they've had a ton of press conferences. Captain Barger has been there at the press conferences and everything. And they even did a Pasadena Now article last week that was full of falsities about the Woods have moved home and it's finished and all this kind of stuff.
They haven't even moved in yet.
That home was supposed to be delivered November last year. Then they moved it to March this year. Well, LA County did a final inspection about 2 or 2.5 weeks ago. And guess what, y'all? Doing? Oh, folding up receipts. I'm sorry.
Crunching all that in the mic.
So, I'm so sorry. So, guess what? The home failed the inspection. The final inspection failed. The Habitat for Humanity home, which they said there was going to be 200 homes built in the next couple of years for Altadenans and yada, 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 yada. Well, the first one that was the big flagship, look at us, we're here. It's a house plus an ADU on the corner of Fair Oaks and Pine or Palm?
Pine.
Fair Oaks and Pine. It's blue with white trim, all this. It failed the inspection, you all. Final inspection to give them their certificate of occupancy. And I got another call last week from a different birdie that said, oh, they're pulling up all the floors. When I tell you this thing has failed in crazy fashion, and I think that it's really sad because what Jimmy Carter used to tout as Habitat for Humanity way back in the day was great. It was really about getting people home. But Now they can be franchised. Basically, Habitat is the name, big org, and all of the ones, it used to be just one big org and they would do stuff all over the world. Now they're franchised out. And the San Gabriel Valley chapter is the one that came out immediately, like, we're going to build all these homes in Altadena, blah, 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 blah. And they've only built one, and it failed the final inspection. And so now, unfortunately, the Woods, who are in, I believe, their 80s, are going to be displaced longer. Their hopes were up that they would be home by November last year, was the original thing that they were told by Habitat. Then it was March this year. I had to call Pasadena now and say, hey, y'all might want to pull that article, because it did not pass final inspection. They are not moving home, and y'all might get sued, Pasadena, now, because your journalists didn't do a good job in fact checking. But they are pulling up the floors. They're pulling out drywall. They had an issue where the AC units that are up on the walls, they didn't get the full, kind, but the ones that are now look like radiators or something, I guess. Something with the AC units that leaked. And so that's why the floors are being pulled and redone. The wooden floors.
My visual walking, because that's directly diagonal across the street from my fiance's mom's house. So I walk the neighborhood. The slope coming from
That's
Pine,
a whole nother issue. Yep.
As soon as the first main rain comes in, or better yet, the fire engine people come in and flood the street with the water, trying to make it go down the drain. You know how they do it?
Yep.
It's going to wash right through their front door. I mean, you could look at that right now on Google. In fact, let me see if I can pull it up. But you can see that right on Google.
It's bad, y'all. It saddens me because, again, current Habitat is not like previous Habitat. And I hate that the Woods are having to go through this in their 80s, when they thought they would be home and they had all this hope. And now this house did not pass final inspection. They did not get their certificate of occupancy a couple weeks ago, where if they did, they'd be moving in right now. They are literally having to not fully start over on this home, but there's a lot of stuff that they are pulling out and redoing on this home. So, we have people going around calling the governor's office, calling CSLB on certain contractors in Altadena. I don't know if it's out of envy or jealousy or whatever, but said contractors have passed every inspection and just had some people move home last week and have others slated to move home this month and next month. But we have certain people going around saying, oh, they shouldn't be, they're not legal, blah, 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 where the CSLB did a whole investigation and came back like, nope, they're fully legal. You may not know all their details, but they are fully legal. And so it cracks me up, especially that women are doing this to women and Black women doing this to Black women, that we have these issues, but they're all out here for Habitat for Humanity and others, and Habitat for Humanity's home did not pass final inspection. So be very careful with who you go with, and make sure that their reputation and who you listen to, because not everybody that has an organization and a title of an org knows their facts and is right. So be very cautious in who you listen to, whether they're in Altadena, Pasadena, from there at the collaboratory or not. So I think that it's really sad, though, that has happened to the Woods, and that they now have to wait even longer for this house to be redone. Whatever parts need to be pulled out or pulled up. I know it's some of the drywall. I know it's the flooring and some other things, and redone, because it is not right. And anytime you have a home that is below the street level, because like Miss Nelson is above the street level on the corner, they're across Pine on it, but it comes and it slopes down. And if you drive up Fair Oaks and get to Pine and look to your right and see that house, anybody with just not even a contractor's eye can see that's a problem, because they also didn't build retaining walls. I know for my parents' lot, they're grading it and they're like, oh, this massive 50-foot wall of dirt, we now have to make into 3 different sections.
Yeah, this is what it looked like at first before the fire.
It's much deeper now.
Yeah, it's way down lower. And then this was Sherry's house over here. Now you see they raised theirs up 4 feet. So it's now higher than this. This is what it used to be. Now the house starts right here and goes, but it's up higher now.
Yeah. And if you have the right contractor, they know what they're doing and they're going to do that properly. So unfortunately for the Woods, on that corner, because it was much deeper, as you see, Army Corps pulled it out and all of that, it's almost like they graded it down on that lower level and they didn't bring in enough dirt to bring it up higher, or at least around it at the front and on the side. You got to, at least at the front, you got to have some type of either a retaining wall or something, because it is down like in a gully.
Well, see, here when they had it, they had rocks. So when water goes over this, it stops right here and seeps into the ground. You know, this is previously.
But the house is still up higher. Now the house is lower than it.
Yeah, because they done dug down deep.
And it's going to be a problem. They went lower than that 6 inches, what the Army Corps took out. They dug out more, obviously, which is great. That's what you want to do. But then you bring in new dirt, raise it back up, compact it so that it's at the right level. Right now, it is dangerously below. And yes, they're probably going to experience flooding at some point when it gets there. But I wish the Woods well, and I wish them the best. And I pray that they continue to hold on through this as they're already in their 80s. Because you lose everything. You go through this very extremely traumatic experience, and a lot of people that are elderly, either I'll say older, I don't necessarily like calling people elderly, but older, that some are like, oh, I'm rebuilding, like Miss Nelson. I ain't going nowhere. I'm almost 100. I'm rebuilding. I'm going home, right? My parents for a minute were vacillating, like, we're not rebuilding. And I'm arguing with them, oh, yes, you are. If I got to sell my house, you rebuilding and going home. Right?
That's a documentary in itself.
What, my parents and me?
You and your parents.
I know.
You know, I can see it. You know, you sat in front of the house. You did the Rubicon video. You know, you kept going up there. Everything about you and your parents and that house is inspired. No, I'm serious. You went up there because you wanted, your mom is going through it. They don't want to go up there. So you went up there and you cleaned the lot, and then you got inspired. And now we got 84 more lots cleared.
Right.
Over that one house. You know, it's just like, but it's the inspiration, is where you get your inspiration from that makes you who you are. And I'm proud to know you. You know, you out there, you know, for real. I remember the first part.
Because trust, it's 3 of us. It was 4 of us, but one of my brothers died. I am the middle child now because the other one was my brother who passed. And so if anybody knows anything about middle children, we always feel like we're forgotten, right?
Yeah,
because
my sister was the same way.
The oldest and the firstborn, they're going to get all the attention because they're the firstborn. My sister and my mother are close, much closer than me and my mom have ever been, right? My sister could tell my mother something and she'll do it regardless of if it's right or true or not. Then there's my brother, who's the baby. And he's like her little favorite or whatever. That's fine. And he's, you know, only 3 years younger than me, but it is what it is. And then me, the middle child, I'm like the rebel, right? Always have been, always.
The rebel.
The rebel. I'm going to talk back. I'm going to fight whatever the systems are. Like, we buck everything. Because middle children feel like, hey, don't forget about me. Because there's always the baby and there's the oldest and all that. So me and my brother, Eric, were in the middle. Eric passed away. And so that leaves me. So I'm the sole rebel fighter, whatever. Eric was too, but he ain't here. So I do it all. So yes, when I had the town hall, I had my heart set on my parents going with Kendra May's designs, right? Well, somebody that my sister told my mom they should go with. Again, my mama will listen to whatever my sister says, right or wrong or whatever. And that's who my mother went with. Well, my parents met with them, and this man told them $1.5 million in 2 years to rebuild. And when I said it freaked my mother out and she was crying,
she went,
which made my dad go, oh, my wife's upset, crying, forget it, we're not rebuilding. So he called me one day talking about, hi, Toni. I was like, hey, Dad, how you doing? He was like, good. I just called to let you know we're not rebuilding. I was like, oh, for real? You know, to myself. He was like, yeah, your mother's upset, da, da, da. And so from right then, I hit that and I'm like, that's bull. Yes, you will, right? I don't even process that because that's who I am. I don't process it. I'm not receiving that. Y'all are rebuilding. So then I'm telling my sister and my brother because I know I got to tell my brother this because my mama will listen to him. I got to tell my sister this because she'll, you know, and I'm like, you know, going behind the scenes, working it. And they're like, we've tried. She ain't budging. So I was like, okay. So then it was just me. So again, you're rebuilding. So my mom lined in, she went out of town and I was hanging with my dad one day. And so I'm telling him, well, yeah, you guys should meet with Kendra, da, 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 da. And he was like, we're not rebuilding. And I was like, oh, you're going to rebuild. I told him and her at some point, you're going to rebuild if I got to sell my house. Y'all are rebuilding, right? And so, because I just feel like my parents should be able to be home, not be vagabonds renting apartments and townhouses.
Right.
When they own something for 58 years. Like, what part of that, you know, like I would in an instant sell my house, which is worth $1 million, to rebuild theirs if I needed to. That means if I got to go live in a whatever, you know, apartment or something myself for a few years, then so be it. But if I got to sell this one so they could, you know, build theirs, I would in 2 seconds. That would not be, I get calls every day asking, do I want to sell my house? And I go, nope, bye, and hang up. But if I needed to, I would in a heartbeat. So that's where that came about, Brian, because, and then my mom watches the show a lot. And so one day she calls me and she was like asking me a bunch of questions. And I'm like, I don't know. She goes, well, why don't you know? You basically should know because I've talked to all these builders on the show and I told her I'm not a builder, meaning, yes, we've talked to and gotten a lot of information from builders, but I'm not going down to the one-stop center and the planning permit center and all that every day because I'm not a builder. So there are changes that happen that I don't know about. And I said, right, why don't you just meet with Kendra, Mom? And no, because I don't want to feel pressured into building a house or whatever. I said, Mom, it's not.
Well, you know what it was, though, Toni? She just came off of just hearing unbelievable amount. So she's got it in her mind like,
This was 8 months later, bruh. This was a good 8 months later. Because they met with that person, I want to say May or something last year. And in February this year, so yeah, 9 months later, she started asking those questions. And I was like, just go meet with her, Mom. She will answer whatever questions you want. She's not going to try to pressure you or sell you. But she knows as a builder, and her architect, Ryan, knows because they're at these places talking to people every day, all day. They're in epic planning, all this. And I don't have those answers. So I finally got my mom to get it that just go meet with her to ask your questions. She will answer your questions without any obligation because I really can't help you and don't know. So Jackie Bailey finally agreed. I set it up. They went, and let me tell y'all something about my mother. Every year, April Fools, she calls everybody with some kind of something, and it's an April Fool's joke. But she's really good at it because even though it's April Fool's, I mean, now if she calls me, I'm gonna be like, Mom, whatever, right? But she'll be like, oh, I broke my hand, or which my mother has had accidents and broken arms and hands and ankles and stuff. So sometimes you gotta believe her, like, hold up, this might be right. So they meet with her at 1 o'clock. I think they called me at 2 o'clock, and they were getting ready to go get my dad something at McDonald's because he needs to eat and take medicine. And so she was like, I said, hey, Mom. She was like, hey. I'm like, what's wrong? She was like, nothing. I was like, okay. And it wasn't April Fool's, but this was like in March. And she was like, Al, you want to tell her? Because they just got done. I was like, how'd the meeting go? You know, and she was like, And then she said, Al, you want to tell her? Literally just like this, Brian. And he goes, yeah, I'll tell her. Right? Because she convinced him to sound somber and crap too, right? And so I was like, hey, Dad, how you doing? Because I really didn't have expectations. I really wanted them to go and just get their questions answered. So he says, we're rebuilding and going with Kendra, and all they're on the car phone, right? And I'm just like, and my reaction wasn't like, yay, finally, or anything. It was like, I said, well, praise the Lord, I'm happy for you, because that's how I felt. I was really happy for them, because I know then they're gonna be at home. And so, and she was like, that's it? I said, yeah, because that's how you call me, you know, like, whatever. So that was March of this year, like already a year after the town hall. Jarvis and Elaine moved home Friday. They signed up with Kendra at the town hall. They signed up to have a consultation with her. Had my parents done the same, they'd be home right now. But I'm in a way, I'm glad that it took a little bit more time, because their neighbors, the one to the west of them, their framing is pretty much done. They're getting ready to start the wrapping and all that. The one to the east of them, her fence is up. She's starting to grade her lot. My parents are now grading their lot. And so all of these neighbors will be going home around the same time, because they're all building right now. And so I think that's even better, because I would hate for them in their 80s to be up there by themselves. Because, you know, sometimes these fools are coming up now, like, you know, oh, let's see who's in this house. And if they're elderly, try to, like, you know, maybe we could do something, whatever. That would be a death sentence for them, because I will go and park my car in the driveway every night with my shotgun. Like, hey, come try to do something to them if you want to, right? So y'all know me, and I would, to protect my parents. I would sleep there at night in the car. But
slow your roll.
Right. But how do I get Kendra's information? Oh, it's Kendra Mays Designs, and her phone number. I'm gonna give you the office phone number, not her. I'm gonna give you a couple things that we're gonna put in here. Okay, so she's at 787 West Woodbury, but I'll put this number in here. This is the office number, because a lot of times her daughter is there and can help with that. But here, let me put this in. Okay, that's the office phone number.
We used to have her on permanent banner.
That's her address. And I'm just gonna put this website up here. When you go to this one, KendraMaysDesigns.com, it is her website that says interior design and renovation firm. She used to have a link to all her custom home designs, but because somebody recently called over and over to the California State License Board complaining, saying she wasn't a licensed GC, which is not true. They didn't know about her other company, which is where her GC license is, although the CSLB does, but she revamped her website and she's separating them now. And so they've even gone around and taken addresses down where people are, her signs are, where she's the contractor, and sent those in saying, see, she's saying she's this, she's that, and she's not. But yeah.
You gotta do thorough investigations if you're gonna drop dime on a person.
Right, because people have nothing better to do, and they probably wish they were her and had a GC license, and they don't. They have an other business that's supposed to be about helping people, but throwing.
Well, do like what we do. We went and checked out all these new nonprofits, and instead of going to tell on them, we went to them and said, "Hey, this needs to be filed. You need to do this. You need to do that to stay in compliance." Yep. You know, and we're all supposed to be helping out the Dina. Why switch somebody out?
That's right.
You're going to delay. So you're going to delay somebody's home getting built because you're not happy with the way a builder is making money or something.
Well, the funny thing is, Kendra never stopped because she knew she's right. And they said she was doing funny business with the contracts. The CSLB investigated it all, found no funny business, all this. So she never stopped because she did not want to have anyone's house being delayed because of it. And that's so commendable. That's like, wow. Okay. So the fact is, like, I want to start bringing some of these people back on. I want them to talk about the homes, how many they have. I saw TR Constructions recently at an event, and they said they have 17 in Altadena. So kudos to them. I want to bring back on Sal from Vivere Construction. I've seen about 5 signs up. He may have more. I don't know. I want to bring back Level 42 because I saw a sign up recently for them. That was Russ. And so I want to see what they're doing. And
BZ Build Co.
BZ Build Co. Now, let me tell you, BZ Build Co. I've seen a couple signs, but I also saw somebody complaining about them recently.
Better step up your game.
So
can't bring you on when people complaining. Or we can bring you on so you can explain.
Right. Clarence, Triplet Construction. I've heard several people complain because he got on this show and I said, can you do 340 to 365 or, whatever. He said, maybe to 375. And then I've had people call me and say, Toni, that man told me 450 a square foot. And I'm like, oh, maybe you need to go to somebody else. Because I know for a fact the real cost to build is not that. That might be what they're charging you, but that's not what it really costs to build. So they are doing their own markups, every builder, right? And they have to do that because they have a crew, they have, all their time, and they do want to make money in each house. So yes, they're going to do some markup, but even if they come in at 340, they're still making money.
Right. And does that include landscaping? And does that include,
furnishings, interior? Yeah. Right. Because let me tell you, what Kendra's coming in at, she furnished Jarvis and Elaine's house on the inside because she is an interior designer. And when I say that, like out of her own pocket, she did it. She told me that last week. I was stunned. And the house is gorgeous. And I was like, wow, that's amazing, right? Most people are going to give you the shell back when you get your certificate of occupancy. They're not even going to say, okay, for the last year and a half, you've been living somewhere, you bought furniture. Do you want us to put it in and stage it? Whatever. She has furnished these people's houses, beds in every room, everything. It was incredible. When I saw her, what she did online, she posted about it, and the house is stunning. But think about who you're going with. So what I want to do is bring them back on over the next month or so, and give them an opportunity to say, this is where I am. This is how many I have in active construction right now. I know for a fact Kendra has about 30 in active construction. That's not all that are in her pipeline that are going through the permitting and planning phase. But when I say active construction, meaning she has full permits and they're either grading, doing the foundation so they could, doing the framing of the foundation so they could pour the foundation. The foundation is poured. Hey Marcus, the framing is up or in progress. They're beyond the framing. They have the lath on. That's that Tyvek wrap, right, that they put on. They're doing the insulation. They're doing the windows, the doors. They're in various phases. There's 30 of them for certain that I know of. And so the fact that anybody would be out here trying to call offices within the state anonymously and trying to destroy somebody who's doing hella good for the community. And I'm not from Northern California. Hella is a Northern Cal term, but I just said it.
Still, we used to say it.
No, not like they say it. Hella for them is everything. Just like we wear flip-flops and say dude down here, that's how NorCal does with hella. And I'm like, if y'all don't stop. But that's their thing, right? We'll wear flip-flops in the rain in SoCal. They're not. We will say dude. I say dude all the time. Be like, dude, for real. Like, you know how the young people say bruh? We say dude still. And, it is what it is. But yeah, I think that we should be making sure that for every builder that is not out here doing nefarious stuff, maybe there was a slip up here or there, potentially. Like I had to call Erica one time and say, hey, your license is showing it's suspended. And it had happened with Kendra too, but it was a tax payment that the CSLB didn't get or sent something to the wrong address. And for Kendra, it was $200. I don't know what it was for Erica, but it took a week for her to get it resolved. Boom, her license is fully back intact. Erica, I called her a couple times. She didn't answer. So finally I called again and left her a full detailed message and said, hey, I got a call from this person who thinks she's the watchdog over everybody's stuff. But I got a call from this person saying your license is suspended. I looked it up. It's showing in the red. And this happened to someone else. It could be that type of situation, but you might want to call
just an oversight.
Exactly. You might want to call the state and the CSLB, see what it is, get it rectified. She did the same thing, got it rectified. I don't know how long it took, but it was that. Then that same person called me saying, oh, she's doing bait and switch. And I go, what do you mean? Apparently, I don't know who she was working with, but did something and coming in saying she'll do this, and now she's doing this and charging a different price. I stayed out of it because it ain't my business. I could pass the message on, and I'd much rather pass it on and say, connect with this person or connect with this department or whatever, so that if there was oversight, you get it rectified, and then somebody can't be out here in the community spreading lies about you and calling the governor's office repeatedly, spreading lies that they call people they really know and then don't even do the investigation. And whenever you call, they're going to ignore you now, or calling the CSLB repeatedly with stuff too. That's not cool. If you have an issue, call the builder themselves. Yeah, call the builder themselves.
What's that song? Don't ask my neighbor.
Right, come to me.
Right. Don't spread no rumors
at all. So I do want to bring people back on and say, all right, what you doing? How many do you have? What are some obstacles you've run into? Have people called the CSLB or the governor's office on you? I'm serious. I'm gonna ask that.
I know. I'm gonna ask it. Is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Palomino Club?
Just I want to know what's going on, because we had all these people on last year, and I get it. They're busy and they're out here building houses, but what are you doing now in the community? And are you giving back in other ways? And that.
Some people don't believe in.
Huh?
So some people don't believe in giving back to the community.
No, but it's
they want to cause turmoil in the community. We don't need no more soapbox operators. Just boots on the ground, not in the air.
Yeah. So anywho, that's a little tidbit or story on me and my parentals and and how that happened. But I'm hoping they're home by Thanksgiving. We'll see what happens. But if they are, that'll be fabulous. And if not, it'll probably be soon thereafter. I just wanted to be back home so they could live their lovely latter years in their home again. And Brian, do you have a picture? Oh no, I better not show it because my mama might get mad at me, and then I'll be like, "Girl, quit tripping." If anybody knows me, they can go on my own Facebook because they've already seen it. But the house is beautiful.
I do need to send you the videos that I took.
Oh yeah, but even with that, like, I told my mom, so I'll just give you guys a little. Get this visual in your own brains. Our house is not at the street level at all. Our house is up, like you go up the driveway or up these stairs, and then there's a house. Then the driveway went further to the back, and then there's another hill that went to the detached garage. And from the house, you went on the lower patio, then you went upstairs. We had an upper patio, then a couple steps up, the yard, then more, and there was the backyard. And well, both for the backyard, but I'd say the upper backyard or whatever went behind the garage and all that. We had like plum and apricot trees and different stuff. So we have a pretty deep lot where I grew up, and my parents do. So my dad was diagnosed a few years ago with Parkinson's. He does not have the shakes, but he has equilibrium issues where he's fallen, he gets real dizzy and all that. So I told her, I said, Mom, you have an opportunity now to build your dream house. I said, for years, she's wanted to redo her bathrooms and her kitchen. And my dad would always, nope. Even the old cabinets, everything. Nope. I said, girl, you get to build exactly what you want now. And he can't tell you no, right? I was like,
no.
If you want an island, because they had a bar with bar stools, right? Now you can have an island. Now you can have the bathrooms you want, like a spa retreat and all this. But she wasn't hearing it because she was still just like, whatever. So now she has designed exactly what she wants, and I'm happy, including like a mudroom. But I told her, I said, and you need an attached garage. No, I want a detached garage like I had. Literally, y'all, this is our conversation. And I'm like, no, you don't need a detached garage. You need an attached garage. I said, every time you come to my house, I see you coming to the front door. What do? From my phone, I hit the button, I open the garage door because I have it, on my phone, my app. And then you come directly into my kitchen. I said, the reason I'm saying this is because there was no walkway or anything from that garage to the lower patio, to the steps, anything. If it rains, anybody can slip and fall. And that's coming off a little hill. And if my dad's already having issues with falling, I don't want that. I'd much rather y'all go into a garage, close it, boom, you right in the house, whether it's raining or not, right? She was adamant. She did not want. Oh, you go past there. Thank you, Marcus. I appreciate that. He said he goes past my parents' property each time he drives around Dina. Love that. And so they moved at first into an apartment in Monrovia. I mean, 2,000, 2,500 people. And that was short-lived. 6 months, them and my sister were out of there, right? It's a pet-friendly place, which is nice. It has a little dog park. But after a while, it was brand new when they moved in. After a while, I'd go visit and I'd be like, whew, because it's pissy in the hallway. Because people are not taking their dogs, or their dogs stop. Put it like this. Dogs always want to mark their territory. And if one little dog happened to pee, the next one is going to smell it and make its leg to pee. So the carpet inside would smell that way. And
they'll stop and let them do it instead of dragging them outside.
Right, instead of dragging them like, no, come on, right? Or pick them up, whatever. So then, anyway, just that. And living in an apartment. They ain't been in an apartment since like 1963 or something. Seriously.
Yeah, apartment living coming from a house is, whoo.
Right. Right. 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot house, all this. So
in your business.
In a little apartment, right? 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,100 square foot apartment. I was like, no yard of their own, no nothing. So then they moved to a beautiful townhome, and them and my sister, they happened to find one across the street, literally from her, and they're there. Beautiful. But it's 2-story. So that poses a problem because my dad got to go up and downstairs again. But the first one was parking structure. So they would park and have to walk to where the door to go in the building was, then to the, So now
the inconveniences.
Right. So now they're in a townhouse, but they pull in, they can close the garage and walk directly into the house. And I'm so thankful they got that place because guess who loves an attached garage now? Jackie Bailey. Right. So now part of the design is instead of going up that first hill, back and up another one, we've leveled the whole lot. And they will go back and curve around and go into an attached garage because I could kind of convinced her. And then I told Kendra, you're going to have to tell her this is what I've said, but you'll have to show her.
So are they going to build like a little deck in the back now to where the other garage was?
No, I'll tell you in a second. But part of it was my mother thought because of the whole like for like, and there's so much craziness and ambiguity and people don't know for sure. She thought that they couldn't do an attached because of it was detached. I was like, no, that ain't true. So because they waived a lot of the rules. So now they are going to have it. And I'm the happiest person on earth because I don't have to worry about my dad slipping and falling, going down a hill, none of that. And then on that area where the garage was, because there was all that mountain of dirt and it goes back so far, in order not to have like a 12-foot high retaining wall back there, it's going to go in like 3 levels. So the first one right past the garage will be a 3-foot retaining wall. And they've started to like level that dirt. And it'll be steps. And then it'll be another one because I told you
like tiered.
It'll be 3 tiers back there, which is great. And then that area over there will probably be garden because they're going to have like a patio with a lanai and, different stuff now. So it will definitely be different. But whatever, when they get to that point with all the landscaping stuff, they will work with their builder on that or whatever. But I was fighting for, number 1, them to be back home. Number 2, them to have an attached garage. They got both. So I'm happy. And however they design it and do all the rest of the stuff is exactly what they want. I'm glad they're going to be back home and have an attached garage. Those are the 2 things I was fighting for this whole process with them.
They are.
Exactly. And so they met with her in March. They had their permit by the end of May because May 30th, we did that groundbreaking. So she pushed it, got everything pushed through, and they're doing everything that they can do. And they finally got all the big tree stumps out because they were up there off to the side and they were huge. But now they finally got them removed and they're doing what they got to do to grade so they can begin the forms for the foundation. So, but yes, I am that child. Because my sister and brother were like, we've done it. We've said it. My sister was like, she ain't finna snap on me again. And my brother was like, I've talked to her and I was like, oh, okay, I got this. Because I'm going to be like, no, you're going to rebuild. They kind of put their hands up because they were getting a lot of kickback. And I don't care about kickback. You're not going to be a vagabond living in somebody else's place renting it the rest of your life. You're going back home. So that's what I did.
That's
so
all right,
there's the documentary in a nutshell.
At the housewarming, you're gonna be walking across the threshold like it's your house.
No, I'm gonna be super happy.
No, they're gonna bring you through because if it wasn't for you poking and prodding and pushing and
getting on their nerves,
saying no, and because you got to look at that. Like Irene told me when she was like, "I ain't leaving this house. I've been in this house 63 years." I said, "If we got to carry you out today, you're leaving." Next day. Yeah. I'm so glad you pushed me to go out the house. I don't even want to go back down. Now I take a video every day and send it to Sherry so that I say, I want you to show it to her while I'm listening on the phone. Oh, look at that. They got the doors in there.
I love it. Well, yeah, again, as traumatic as these 19 months have been and what happened January last year, the resilience of our older Altadenans, like my parents, like Miss Nelson, those in their 90s, Robert Childs, who's been there just below us on Alta Vista and Maiden Lane, 42 years. People have been there a very, very, very long time. I love seeing their resiliency because we know there have been those that from the trauma, being depressed and all of that, they have passed away, right? We know that there's at least 2 people I know of that suicided since the fire from Altadena. And then there are many others that as after effects, about 400, they're attributing their deaths to the fire because some were in residential care facilities that was older. I know Nikki and Chuck Mitchell had one up on Wapello, that big, beautiful old house that is being rebuilt, but not like it was. It'll be a modern house or whatever. But Christina and DeWalt Brown own those facilities. But they had 10 live-in residents that were elderly, a lot of them with dementia and stuff like that. And all 10 of them are gone. Within 6 months, they all died because they had to be evacuated and put in new facilities. When you're already
messes with your mind.
Everything. It messes with all your mind, your body, your psyche, everything. All 10 of them are gone. And I asked Nikki, I said, when the house is rebuilt, you going to do it again? She was like, I don't know that I can. Because they lived upstairs, but she worked her facility every day. And when you're living with and caring for people and you have the trauma of a fire happening and all your own belongings are gone. And then all those people pass away and all that. It's extremely tragic.
Takes a toll.
It does. So the people that are at, I would say, Altadena, period. The people that are fighting insurance companies, the people that are fighting legislature, the people that are fighting just their own mental state every day and are still here 19 months later and are resilient and are out here doing it. Kudos to everyone. Because it's not an easy thing to walk through. My cousin was up here Saturday and he texted me like, Toni, what's your parents' address again? Because I want to go by the house. Or, I said, oh, okay, Damien. And I texted to him and he sent me a picture of the neighbor to the west who's already building. I was like, no, that's just west of us. It's the other one with the red brick steps. He was like, I went up. He went up the steps and walked on the lot and everything. And he was like, I can't believe this. Like, it was surreal because He grew up in LA, but he was always at the house because I told you everybody would come out here because we lived out here. Everybody else lived in LA, like on my mom's side of the family. And so
it was quieter.
And so everybody would want to come to the mountains. Everybody would want to come get away from the city because it's peaceful, quiet. We'd hike, we'd go to Rubio Canyon, show them all that. Plus, they were here New Year's Eve and we spent the night. They all spent the night. We went down to the Rose Bowl or to the parade route, sometimes spent the night and came back up, after watching it, stuff like that. So he hadn't been here in years and he was like, wow. And I said, it's almost unbelievable, huh? He said, yes and no. And I said, yes and no. I did question marks. And he said, yes and no, because he lived in Miami when Hurricane Sandy or something came through and devastated that. So he's been through a natural disaster like this before. And I was like, oh, he didn't lose his place, but he saw the devastation. So then seeing my parents' lot, he was like, man, this is wild, cousin. I was like, yeah. So it's just a trip. But I told him, I said, but if you see everything going up, look how much hope it is. He said, yeah, I see that. And that's the biggest thing in Altadena. There is so much hope and there's so much resilience we know that young people, a lot of them lost their houses and their schools. But baby, young people bounce back. And in 10 years, in 15, in 20 years, they'll be able to say, oh yeah, this did happen to us, but they're going to be so much stronger and more resilient. But the ones that are like 70, 80, 90, 100, man, I give mad props to them. For real. Because they're hanging in there and they're like, no, we're coming back. And I love it. The other thing I want to talk about today a little bit was I just wanted to really take a minute. This might be a little bit somber, but to really honor some people. We have two issues where some people lost lives over the weekend that I wanted to address. And people have probably seen it on social media or on the news. There was a young man named Eric Washington. They call him E-Wash in Compton. Him and a young lady that was also shot and killed at a block party in Compton. What's so devastating about him was he was a philanthropist. He was a alpha. He was a, college graduate, educated community leader. And his life was taken by gun violence, just senseless gun violence. And for his mother, so devastating because this is always a mother's worst nightmare. Probably a parent, but a mother. We literally in our soul always are praying for our kids to be protected. And especially when it comes to African-American men, this is not somebody that was ever in gangs, but he was killed by a gun. They're trying to figure out who did it. And it was him and a young lady, and others were shot, but him and the young lady died. 3 were shot, 2 died. And so my daughter personally knows him, Hannah, because she's an AKA. So it's a frat brother. And I called her Sunday night and I was like, hey, I've been seeing all this stuff. And she had reposted. And I said, I just want to tell you condolences on the loss of your friend. I said, your frat brother. I said, but did you actually know him or just because he's a frat? She said, no, I knew him. He's a friend. And so that whole Divine Nine community right now has been really hit and touched by this. So keeping them in thoughts and prayers. And for the young lady's family. But for his particular mom, or for this young man, double on it is his father in the same location last year lost his life. Same type of tragedy. And so for that mom to have to be like, my son, and a year ago his dad, is absolutely devastating. And the Compton community, they did something at City Hall that I saw yesterday, and they're really struggling with this. So thoughts for sure, good thoughts and good prayers going up for anybody touched by senseless violence, not only in Compton, but there was gun deaths all over the place on 4th of July because people still want to go out and shoot, still want to go out and have illegal fireworks. And people, we got to do better. So that, I want to acknowledge his life and the young lady's life. I forget her name. I'll have to look it up. But those, and anyone all over the country that lost their life to senseless gun violence on 4th of July or the 4th of July weekend. Also want to lift up, I think his name is Jose, but the tow truck driver that was stabbed and shot multiple times on the 210 freeway right here around the corner from me on Sunflower. when they received a service call that this man needed gas, a AAA service call. And some altercation, argument broke out, and the guy stabbed him multiple times and shot him multiple times. He is still in the hospital. He had more surgery yesterday. He is in critical condition. I have not heard he's on life support, but I do know he's in critical condition. And then he took the 2 phones of the driver and his tablet. And because AAA was able to activate the search for the tracking, thank you. CHP was able to find them, and on Citrus and Arrow,
How dumb are you?
In Covina, they shot and killed the young man because he had a gun on him. And when CHP stopped him at this gas station, he probably pulled it on them. They shot and killed him. And he was, I think it said he was out of LA, something Perez. I read it yesterday, and I think he was 23. But the dispatcher said she was very concerned because he was talking kind of crazy on the call. And so I passed a tow truck driver yesterday, and I just prayed for them. And I asked, for their protection, because they're going out to provide service to people, the good ones. There are some that do the impounds or whatever, but or repos. But the ones that you call for service, we just really got to keep these people.
Well, they're the good ones too. They only doing it because the person ain't paying for their car.
I know. Yeah, I know. And it's not their fault either, right? But people get mad. And then
they're the ones that you need to pray for, because they get shot out. People be jumping in the car on them, everything.
All kind of foolishness. And then I want to pray for the mom and the family of Nolan Wells. This is the young man that was the only
person of color.
Thank you. Person of color, young man who was out with his 3 white friends on a boat. And somehow they came back with Nolan's phone and everything and said they didn't know what happened. But not him. Nice. And they found his body on Horn Island down in Mississippi, y'all.
They're still killing people.
Exactly. We're still lynching and killing people.
Why are you going down there?
His mom was a nurse practitioner, and she's devastated. He's 18 years old. And just because you go to school with them doesn't mean you could trust them. And he trusted and thought they were his friends. And again, they went deep into the ocean on their speedboat or whatever, and came back, or into the lake, whatever, came back without him. They did recover his body. And there has been a GoFundMe that has already raised over $100,000. I'm thankful for that, for the parents. But he just graduated, y'all, down in Mississippi, and he felt like he was safe going out with these white boys on his boat. And so
it's really hard. I don't really trust anybody I haven't known or been around for decades. No new friends. I've got a lot of acquaintances, but no new friends
at all.
That's the difference.
Yep. And what's even more, I don't know if I even want to call it odd anymore, but all of the young men that were with him, the 3 boys, all of their parents, all of them have now scrubbed all their social media. They've gotten rid of all their Instagrams, Facebook, any kind of accounts that they have. Not that means anything, because the right
once DA, it's out there,
attorneys, they can subpoena all those records from every single one of these social media companies.
Wayback Machine has all screenshots of every website that's ever been made. As soon as you put it up there, so you can kill yours,
right?
But you can't kill the internet.
Delete their accounts, but it doesn't mean it's gone. It's in cyber world forever. Right. But if there was nothing for you to hide,
why would you do that? That makes you look guilty.
Exactly. And you come back with his phone. So
hopefully he had tracking on the phone.
Well, and maybe that's let's anchor, let's jump in and swim.
Let's leave him there.
And let's leave the phones on the boat. But even if your friend didn't know how to swim or was having trouble, wouldn't you call it for emergency and do everything you could?
Why would you come back with nothing? I would never have left. They did it. You know, I don't even have proof. But
right, we'll figure it. It'll be found out. It'll be figured out.
Well, so, like the kid that stabbed the other kid in self-defense, and they convicted him. Then they find out that the judge and the other kid's father was known buddies, golf buddies, and all this stuff is now coming out. So now they're going to file for appeal because there's a lot of evidence that didn't get submitted.
Oh, of course not, because
the
they didn't want it to. And that was an all-white jury. And Austin Metcalf was white, and Carmelo Anthony was black. And
I know people get tired of us talking about this black and white issue, but we wouldn't talk about it if it didn't exist right in our face.
Right. Well,
there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah, we're not ever going to stop talking about that because we are black, and
it keeps
happening. Reality. Because let me tell you something. Look at the sister girl in Florida that was being not chased, but basically chased around cars and everything in the parking lot, in the Walmart parking lot, by the 62-year-old. Check this out. They want to make sure he was a white man, but they want to make sure they say he was a veteran and he had just moved there, 3 months ago and reunited with his daughter. But in the videos, and there are several angles, this lady tells him, so what this dude did, they had a disagreement over a parking spot. So he literally pulls his car and considers himself blocking the spot. But the way he parked it wasn't fully like that because he would have blocked two other cars. He did it at an angle, got out and went in Walmart. Well, there was enough space for her small car to be able to back into the spot. And she did. So he comes out mad, calling her all kind of names, B's, N's, all kind of stuff, calling her out her name, fist balled up, going towards her angry. She gets in her car, pulls her pistol out and tells him, back up. Don't come near me, because she's scared now because this man is coming after her. Stand your ground laws in Florida, though. And so she has her pistol the whole time, telling him, don't come, stop. I mean, you could clearly hear it. I've seen a few of the videos. And witnesses are like, she warned him several times, I will shoot. She's also on the phone with 911. She called them herself. Like, y'all better get here. This man keeps coming. She backs up, not only by her car, but backs away around 2 or 3 other cars. He's following her aggressively the whole time. She gets back by her car and he starts coming towards her. She takes one shot. It hit him in the abdomen. 911 came. She immediately put her gun on top of her car. They detained her. They asked what happened and stuff. They let her go because it is stand your ground. She was in fear. And they still haven't arrested her. White people are mad as hell all over social media. She killed that man.
It wasn't mad about Zimmerman.
About Zimmerman and everybody else that was stand your ground, and he was fully unarmed and all of that. So that's why we always talk about Second Amendment. They don't think it's for anybody other than them. But it's for everybody because it's part of our Constitution. So the facts are like, we will talk about whatever on this show. And unfortunately, because of the racial tensions and this person who's in the Oval Office, who is a white supremacist, who is a divider, who wants nothing but to keep our nation divided, we can't let these things settle because they pop back up. And Carmela was just convicted not even a month ago. And then this happens and the white folks are mad because she wasn't arrested. Carmela was literally tried. But the beauty of it is that dream team of attorneys he has now reminds me of when Johnny Cochran first got famous. Because, baby, they got some powerhouses on there that are already like, oh, no, look at this evidence. It was excluded. And tied how the judge knows one of the defense
the victim's father.
And right. And the victim's father
and the prosecutor. Right. And the defense attorney.
Right. And so, and all white.
Reminds you of my cousin Vinny.
Exactly. And that's what it is. So
the two Utes.
So
Marcus said, I tell my daughters there's a big difference in friends versus acquaintance. Friends have been fully vetted and have your back. You ain't lying.
Well, and check this out.
Real
After
ones.
some stuff I went through the last couple of years, the Lord told me, break it down even further. There's acquaintances, there's associates, and there are friends. So acquaintances are them people you meet brand new. Hey, nice to meet you. Da, 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 da. An associate is somebody you might have hung out with once or twice, gone to lunch or dinner, whatever, but have not, like you said, Marcus,
somebody you work with,
have not been fully vetted, have your back, would lay their life down for you. That's a real friend. So move accordingly.
That's why when I used to work at companies, I don't go to the happy hours with the company. I don't want to see you in your drunken state. I don't want you to see me and how I am out.
And
I don't trust you like that.
I didn't do potlucks either.
No.
Because some folks, we can cook, we season, we clean our hands before, during, and after in our kitchen. Some folks got cats on their counter while they're mixing stuff, and the cats are walking right past, or your food is on the stove and the cat is sitting right there and all that.
You don't like this?
No, ma'am, no, sir. So I didn't do potlucks at work because I was like, no, I'm good. They were like, you don't want to eat Antoinette? No.
Is this a fish bone or a cat hair? I don't know.
Right. Now, if it was somebody I knew, another sister, a brother, like Jason and the Betts and all them, that we all used to work together at Yellow Pages. We had potlucks, and I'd be like, what you bring? And they tell me. Right. We would all say that. Before anybody,
I'm going to eat this one, and this one.
That's it. And we would go to their stuff, get immediately before that line got long, go get our stuff. Because even people digging their hands and stuff,
Even I go to, like when I used to tell you, I used to go to 4 different houses for certain foods on Thanksgiving. And the one lady going to ask me, how come you don't eat the stuffing? I said, because your stuffing not good. Not like Willa's. Willa Mae's stuffing good.
Hello?
Said, I'm going to bring you a plate. And I brought her a plate. She said, I need Willa to tell me her recipe so you can stay here while you eat. No. I said, it don't matter how you make it. She's still going to kill you.
So anyhow, I just wanted to acknowledge those people and really, keep families in your guys' prayers or whatever, good thoughts. And just be careful out there because we do live in crazy times. You got to be prepared always and look out for one another. I get these packs of, I think it's 4 of them, of pepper spray. And I was talking to Nino the other day and she said, girl, I was so terrified. I said, what happened? She said she was leaving the salon and she walked past a car. And all of a sudden the window rolled down and this Latino man gonna say, what's your name? And she looked and was like, going in between cars in the parking lot to go over to her car. She said, she just looked and kept going. She said, by the time she got to her car and put her hand on her door handle to open it, he was right there. She didn't hear him. She didn't hear him close his door, nothing. And he startled her and she said she screamed and he backed up and he was like, oh, I just gave her some kind of stuff. I said, where was your pepper spray? She said, I don't have none. I said, girl.
You went right to the pantry.
And took her one. Yes. And she said, see, I got to get like you. I said, baby, because you already know what would have happened with him. It wouldn't have had 2 blown out knees. He wouldn't even got pepper spray. Right. She said, right, because you always got a pistol on you. Right. And you walk up on me.
She need to get one of those sticks, too, that's like this small, but you go like this and it pops out so you can smack a fool.
But I told her, but she said with me, and then her daughter, who's an Air Force in the reserves, and her son, who's a Navy veteran, she said, that's why I like hanging with y'all, because y'all are killers. And I'm like, no, we're not killers. And she goes, yeah. No, she said
we're defenders.
Right. She said the military has trained y'all to kill if need be. I said, yeah, that's true.
Defend.
Right. And she said, and all of y'all got pistols. That's true. And she said, and all of y'all, I said, we're hyper vigilant. She said, yes, y'all are always looking around. I said,
on a swivel.
On a swivel constantly. I said, because the military taught us that. I said, why you think every time we go to a restaurant or something, you go to sit here? I'm like, you sit there. I'm going to sit here. I don't sit with my back towards you.
Yeah, because I got your back.
It's always to the wall.
My back is covered. My 6 is covered. I got your
My 6 is covered. I'm good. And my 6 is going to be towards the wall.
Look, I got your 9 to 3.
Right.
I got your 9 to 3.
So she's like, that's why I need to just hang with you, my daughter and my son. I said, oh, and nobody else?
You need to start following. Look, when you look around, she look around. What you looking for?
Right.
That's what. Because if I'm not at the back, if my back ain't against the wall and somebody's watching, I'm like, are you paying attention? Because if you're not,
right, because you know, Brian, we've gone places and you say you sit here and I'm like, nope, I'm sitting over there. I'd be like,
we're sitting next to each other.
Sometimes, yeah, but our back to the wall. Because I'd be like, I ain't sitting there. Because in my
and I'm not either.
The door, somebody could walk up.
Right.
No, I got to be able to pull my thing out.
And sometimes you don't want the surprise, even if you don't. You know.
So,
hey, girl, hey.
So I gave her one the next day, and then 2 little girls yesterday at church or Sunday at church. They're sweethearts. They're out for the summer, and I said, "What y'all doing this summer?" She said, one of them said, "We outside." I was like, and so I was like, "You might be outside, but I need you to have your head on a swivel. I need you to be hyper vigilant everywhere you go." Because one of them was missing for 2 days a few months ago. And so every Sunday they come and give me a hug because I've known their mama, I know their grandmama, everything. And so I was like, but when y'all are out, I said, I know you together. I said, but you got your pepper spray and stuff? They said, no. I said, I got you. I'm bringing you some on Sunday. They were like, okay, because I got 2 more in my pack. And y'all, if nothing else, like I feel like my next thing is to start doing women's self-defense, teaching them about keeping that head always being hyper-vigilant. And, you know, we do gun training all the time up in the mountains in Azusa. And everybody's calling me like, Toni, when are you doing another day? Because I haven't done one in at least a year. So it's time. I feel like it's time to do another training day. And we literally go from like 9 in the morning till 5 o'clock. The whole time I rent a whole entire range that's just for us. And E-Dub comes out and a gang of people, my son, everybody, and we bring everything. We bring all the firepower. And I start people small on like my little 22. I move them to the 32. I move them to a 9. Then I get them up to my thumper, which is my favorite, the 40. And they get a little bit scared. And I'm like, no, it's wonderful. And I'm going to tell you, I don't bring that out like outside the house. I don't keep that in my car because
it's a cannon.
That's a one shot. Which, I mean, my 32, my 22.
That's an end all.
The 40, yes. And I'm telling you,
I call
it my thumper because literally we're at the range. My son will be on, because it also has a sight and a laser, right? And so he'll be on the 40, I'll be on my 9 or whatever. We'll be side by side. And he shoots one off and I feel it right here. Boom. Every time. It is a thumper. And I'm hitting my 9 like pop, 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 pop. But I love that 40, y'all. And it's his. But I'd be like, can I use your 40? But I think I'm going to go get me one because I love that more than my 9s, more than my anything. So, but yeah, I will announce it. We'll do a range day. People that want to come and sign up, I usually charge like $100. We bring all the ammo and all the weapons and do some training. I usually bring all the targets. And we'll get it in. And those that are, I took Janine out one day and showed her and started her on the 22, did the 32, did the 40. You gone, Brian, for a minute? I think somebody came to the door. But we're pretty much done anyway. We've been on here, I didn't realize, an hour and a half. And so I'm going to go over, he had to step out. I'm going to go over these slides, y'all. Let me see if I can, how many we have. Oh, we have a few. So I'm going to go over the slides. And maybe by the time he gets back, we'll be done. So I'm going to just reiterate many of these, which are the Altadena Community Center is still open 9 to 5 at 730 East Altadena Drive. You can get in-person help with essential services for the wildfires still. The Altadena Rebuild and Community Hub, the ARCH it's called. This is Edison, Southern California, Edison. It is available from, what is the time? Monday through Friday. I think it says 8 to 5. I can't see because the comments are in the way. But it's at 2680 Fair Oaks Boulevard. It is just south of Mariposa in Fair Oaks, and it would be on the east side of the street. If you drive there, you can see that. Then the LA County One-Stop Permit Center. I need to put my glasses on, y'all, because I have to make the screen small to read all this. Is Monday through Friday, 8 to 4:30. That's for walk-in hours. It's at 464 West Woodbury Road, Suite 210. You can scan the code. You can meet with a rebuild consultation. You can have a rebuild consultation appointment from 8:30 to 12:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Saturday, 8 to 12. And then the virtual SCE planner appointments are Monday and Wednesday, 8 to noon. I'm not reading those things down there, the websites. This is the same thing, the rebuild appointments. And then the SBA is still available if you need help with your SBA disaster loan at the Altadena Assistance Center at the Eden Fire Collaboratory, Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. That's 540 West Woodbury. Also in Pacific Palisades at the Pali Hub, which looks like it is at 15239 La Cruz Drive, 8:30 to 5 in Pali, and then 9 to 6 in Dena. Alta, that is. And then there's LA County is still waiving and refunding the permit fees for homeowners rebuilding after the Eden fire. To qualify, you have to have lived in your property owned and lived in it prior to January 7th, 2025. You have to demonstrate that through, bills, deed, whatever. If you do not yet have their fees paid, they'll be waived. If you've already paid them, they'll be refunded. So if you're still in that permitting part of your rebuild. What projects are eligible are a single family home replacement destroyed, and it also includes garages, ADUs, pools, etc. Standalone ADUs for temporary building occupancy during rebuilding, those are also waived. And what's not eligible or has not been eligible is commercial buildings, rental, multifamily, and temporary housing projects or properties not damaged by the fire. How to apply? You can scan that QR code. You can also go to LA Recovery, but it's recovery@planning.lacounty.gov, or just go on the LA County Recovers website and find the fee waiver or refund form. And you can either submit it by mail or online. The Cal Assist Mortgage Fund is still in effect. So if you need help and have not applied, please do apply. You can get 12 months of mortgage payments up to a maximum of $100,000. There are new program limits of $281,400. It was about half of that before. And, this is a higher income area. So they did make those limits a little bit higher. Apply today. Funds are limited. Funds never have to be repaid. They're paid directly to your mortgage servicer, and it is free to apply. You may be eligible. Yeah, if you already know, if you were, if your house was lost in the fire, or you displaced in the fire, and you are paying a rent somewhere, still have your mortgage, do what you got to do. They will also on that site give you all the information about what you need to do, what's eligible, all of that. I'm not going to read all that because when you go, you'll find that out. Okay. CalisisMortgageFund.org. It's going to give you all the information you need to know. If you need help, you can call that 800-501-0019 number, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And that's also for the in-person application help, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Neighborhood housing services will help you with that. All right. Then, what is this? Something's extended. Good news for LA County survivors. That's the FEMA. They approved the critical extension of the disaster assistance. July 9th, it is extended through July 9th of 2027 for homeowners, which is a year and 2 days from now. And for renters, it's been extended through October 9th of 2026. So you got a few more months on that one. And then there was a deadline. I think that this is now null and void.
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah, this is SBA disaster funds. So that deadline was June 30th.
That one's old.
That's old. Freedom Shop is current Monday and Tuesday. This is over at Project Passion where Harambe is. Monday and Tuesday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. 1609 Navarro. You must book your appointment. It is not by walk-in. So scan that QR code that's on the screen or go to that calendly.com/project Project Passion Inc. website. And then, this is old. That was on June 26th. Altadena Revealed was Friday, June 25th. Cars and Coffee is every Saturday at 8 a.m. in the parking lot north of the sheriff's station where the old Rite Aid was. Hildina, that was June 27th. That was June 27th. That workshop was June 27th. This Grief and Loss with Dr. Timothy Clark was June 27th. This Design Fair on Fair Oaks was June 28th. There's a Summer Spree and Save, which was June 28th. This one is important. Not that any of the others weren't. Let me take that back. I did not mean to say it that way. But Pasadena Rosebud Academy has Stand Up for Students comedy show fundraiser. It is going to have laughs. It's going to have lots of community. There's going to be opportunity, and all proceeds are going to support Rosebud's rebuild. Those of you that know, it was in the Loma Alta School building, and Loma Alta School is flattened, right? And so they're at Don Benito right now, but I'm not sure where Sean wants it to be. But whatever they have to do to rebuild, she might be trying to purchase a building and make it a school. I'm not sure. But this, you'll get to laugh and have a good time. Hosted by Chris Spencer. It is going to have Reg Thomas. It will have Felicia Folks, Chase Anthony, Jesus Trejo, and DJ Aisha Irene will be there. It is this Sunday coming up, July the 12th at 5:30 p.m. at the Alex Theater, 216 North Brand in Glendale. All proceeds will go to Rosebud Academy. It is their fundraiser. So you can scan the QR code to get your tickets and go. I did tell Sean, she texted me and I told her, oh, I'm there. But I forgot. We have 4:00 services Sunday, so I won't be there. But I will buy and donate 2 tickets. I will. Hold on 1 second. Give me 5 minutes. Okay. All right. That was my daughter.
Sound like one of them old school sitcoms.
It's jazz. It's so dope. I love my ringtone. So anyway, that's that. And then our Neighbors Helping Neighbors.
This is Toni's brainchild.
Is still ongoing.
Yes.
And so I'm not even going to talk about that because we already know. We got about 87
we ain't really got to talk about this one either.
And when you don't see me here, it's because I'm out there during the week doing this stuff.
Right. And
then this is another Altadena Talks initiative. This is Brian's brainchild. It's the Altadena Community. I combined Altadena and Community is what I was doing. Altadena Community. And Recovery Series, Part 3. Under Trois, Part 3. That's French, if y'all don't know. Tres is
unless you're saying patois.
No, because just French is under trois, quatre, cinq, six. Because I took French in high school instead of Spanish. Because I was like, why do I need Spanish? I live in Southern California. Anyway, July 18th, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Fraternal Order of Eagles on Woodbury. It's a day of wellness, resources, and community fun. Don't just be coming for free smoothies or raffle prizes or gift cards or nothing, or a free gaming truck. Come because you really need to be there for the resources and to get your wellness together.
We also need more vendors too. So if you're a vendor, you're a builder, you're a nonprofit, please join in the fray.
So before we say toodles, I do want to just say hey to some people that have joined. Homebound. Hey, Homebound. Thanks for joining. Hi, Mrs. Bacchus. She said, I love today's program. Rob V, 2367 said, good morning, all. Hey, Rob. Marcus, we know, was on. Cherie popped in. Hi, Cherie. Marcus, thank you for commenting. That is our 4th wheel, something. Mason Mackey. Hello, Mason. Thank you for joining.
Constantine in California.
In Cali. Hey, Constantine in Cali. Who else when I go up?
Joshua Joseph Welty.
Hi, Joshua. And who else? I'm scrolling up.
Jazzy Essence.
Anton. Hey, Anton. We did say hi earlier. And Jazzy Essence. Hello. You might not still be on with us, but hello. We want to acknowledge you all. Brandon. Hello. Nishan. I don't think it's still on, but was on early on. Is this the request line?
That's just when people were requesting to have you do the
line. Right. So thank you everyone for joining and staying with us. We've been on 1 hour and 40 minutes. That is bananas. I just been running my mouth.
Well, it's your day, it's your show, and you talked about what you needed to talk about. That was the whole point.
And I wasn't on yesterday, and I may not be on tomorrow or Thursday.
She ain't been on really for about a month, but
I know.
Nobody's missed you. Everyone is asked every day. Like, where Toni at? Y'all kick her off the show or something? Like, no. She would have kicked herself off before we kick her off. Sorry, guys. I got other plans.
Anyway, everybody, thank you for being here with us today and listening to me run my mouth and talk about whatever, or all of us. But thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Oh, and I believe today starts the warm-up. A little bit of a heat wave is coming, is my understanding.
Oh, is it? Because, it's been gloomy doomy last couple of weeks in the morning. But that's good weather for cleaning yards. So, not the one coming. I think it's
supposed to be 87 today, 88 tomorrow, and then it'll go to 86 Thursday and be down to 82 with some clouds.
Ravi said, great show.
But then 90 through 93 between now and next Thursday. So between 87 and 93 over the next week, please stay hydrated and take care of yourselves.
And she was also doing the weather.
I've done some weather. I've done some breaking news. I've done a bunch of stuff today. That's why it's almost 2 hours.
She's been the anchor of anchors.
The anchor of Altadena Talks. Have a great day, everybody. Take care. Oh, I got to hit the button, huh? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I thought you were already doing it.